Welcome to Divine Decode on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into fascinating topics.
Definitely.
Ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to journey through the first 10 chapters of the book of Genesis.
Okay.
And we're exploring the profound theme of growth,
Right.
woven into these ancient narratives.
Hmm.
We're going to unpack those epic tales of creation, paradise lost, and humanity's resilience,
Right.
delving into the deeper meanings
Right.
and seeing how they resonate with our own experiences of growth.
It's amazing how these stories passed down through generations still speak to something fundamental about the human condition. We all experience growth, change, setbacks, and new beginnings. And these chapters offer profound insights into the nature of this journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start at the very beginning.
All right.
The creation narrative.
Yeah.
It's not just a dry account of how things came to be, but a powerful story about order emerging from chaos.
Yes.
Potential unfolding and life taking shape. What's striking is the way it emphasizes growth as a deliberate, step-by-step process.
Yeah.
Light emerges from darkness, sky separates from water, land appears. And then, in a burst of vibrant growth, plants, animals, and finally humanity.
And that repeated phrase, God saw that it was good, after each stage highlights the inherent goodness and purposefulness of this growth.
Right.
It's not random or accidental, but a carefully orchestrated symphony, with each element playing its part in the grand scheme.
It's like witnessing the unfolding of a divine plan, each stage building upon the previous one,
Yeah.
leading to greater complexity and beauty. And then there's the seventh day, the Sabbath, a time of rest and reflection. It's not just about God resting after all that creating, but a model for us, reminding us to pause, appreciate the growth that's occurred, and integrate it into our beings.
Precisely. The Sabbath is a crucial part of the growth cycle. It's about acknowledging the fruits of our labor, allowing space for integration and renewal so we can continue growing and evolving.
Okay, so we have this incredible creation teeming with life, and then we enter the Garden of Eden, a paradise of abundance and beauty, where God places Adam and Eve. They're given dominion over all living things
Mm-hmm.
and a special connection with the divine.
Right.
It seems like the ultimate environment for growth.
Absolutely. Eden represents a state of perfect harmony, a place where growth can flourish effortlessly. And yet there's this fascinating detail about the two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Okay.
They represent two paths of growth, two ways of knowing and experiencing the world.
Okay, so unpack that for us. What do these trees symbolize, and why is one forbidden?
The tree of life, I think, represents a kind of intuitive, instinctual growth,
Okay.
a natural unfolding of our potential in harmony with the divine will. The tree of knowledge, on the other hand, represents a more self-conscious, analytical way of knowing, a desire to understand good and evil, to make our own choices and define our own paths. The forbidden fruit isn't about punishing curiosity, but about acknowledging the consequences of choosing a certain path of growth.
So it's about free will,
Yes.
taking responsibility for our choices, and understanding that growth comes with challenges and even potential setbacks.
Exactly. And that's where the serpent comes in, representing the voice of doubt, temptation, and the allure of quick fixes. It's the part of us that wants to bypass the natural process of growth, to take shortcuts and to grasp for knowledge without fully understanding its implications.
Classic bad influence. And of course, Eve takes a bite, then Adam, and their eyes are opened. They become aware of their nakedness, experience shame for the first time, and suddenly realize the weight of their actions. They're expelled from Eden
Right.
and face the consequences of their choice, pain in childbirth, the curse of toil and hardship. Talk about a growth spurt.
But it's a different kind of growth now, right?
Yeah.
It's no longer the effortless flourishing of Eden, but a more challenging, often painful process. They're forced to confront their vulnerabilities, to work the land, and to navigate the complexities of good and evil.
It's like they've graduated from the Garden of Eden kindergarten
Right.
to the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
They're learning through experience, making mistakes, and facing the consequences.
Exactly. And that's a crucial part of growth. Learning from our mistakes, adapting to new challenges, and developing resilience. The fall isn't the end of growth, but a transition to a different stage, a more complex and nuanced understanding of the world and ourselves.
And this leads us to the story of Cain and Abel, another powerful illustration of the complexities of growth. These brothers, Adam and Eve's sons, represent two different approaches to life.
Yeah.
Two different expressions of human potential. Abel, the shepherd, offers a heartfelt sacrifice, while Cain, the farmer, offers a more practical, perhaps less sincere gift.
And this difference sparks jealousy and resentment in Cain, leading him to commit the first murder, the ultimate act of rejecting his brother's growth and potential. It highlights the dark side of human nature, the tendency towards envy and competition, which can hinder both our own growth and the growth of others.
It's a stark reminder that growth is not always linear or harmonious. There are setbacks, conflicts, and even tragedies that shape our journeys.
Absolutely. And Cain's punishment, becoming a restless wanderer separated from his family and community, emphasizes the isolating and alienating consequences of hindering another's growth. It's a reminder that our actions have ripple effects impacting not only ourselves, but those around us.
So we've gone from the effortless growth of Eden to the challenges of knowledge and choice, to the destructive potential of jealousy and violence. It seems like humanity keeps messing up,
Yeah.
and things just get worse. Where do we go from here?
Well, that brings us to the flood, a story that, while often interpreted literally, also carries deep symbolic meaning about the cyclical nature of growth. Humanity's wickedness reaches a peak, and a cataclysmic flood wipes the slate clean, allowing for a new beginning.
It's like nature's way of pruning back the overgrown branches, creating space for new growth to emerge. But it's also terrifying, right? This idea of total destruction as a prerequisite for renewal.
It is a stark image, but it also speaks to the transformative power of letting go. Sometimes we need to surrender to the forces of change, to release old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving us in order to embrace new possibilities. And the story of Noah, a righteous man who survives the flood with his family and a menagerie of animals, offers a glimmer of hope. He represents the potential for resilience, for preserving the seeds of goodness and carrying them forward into a new era.
So the flood isn't just about destruction, but also about preservation and the potential for renewal.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that even amidst chaos and loss, there's always a spark of life, a seed of hope that can sprout and flourish in unexpected ways.
I'm sensing a theme here. Growth is messy, unpredictable, and often involves loss and destruction. It's not always a comfortable journey, but it's essential to who we are.
That's a powerful insight. And as we move into the next part of our deep dive, we'll see how this theme of growth continues to unfold as humanity repopulates the world, faces new challenges, and lays the foundation for the stories that shape our understanding of faith, purpose, and the human condition. Join us next time as we explore the Table of Nations, delve into the Tower of Babel, and trace the lineage that leads to Abraham, the father of many nations.
Welcome back to Divine Decode.
Yes.
As we journey through Genesis, it's fascinating to see how the theme of growth takes on new dimensions after the flood. We've witnessed destruction and renewal,
Right.
and now we're exploring how humanity navigates this fresh start.
It's like observing a plant that's been pruned back, sending out new shoots, reaching for the light.
Yeah.
There's this incredible energy and potential, but also a sense of vulnerability and the possibility of going astray.
Right. And that brings us to the Table of Nations,
Okay.
a genealogical account of Noah's descendants spreading out and populating the world.
Yeah.
It might seem like a dry list of names,
Right.
but it's actually a powerful image of growth and expansion, branching out in all directions.
It highlights the incredible diversity that emerges from a single source. From Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth,
Okay.
come a multitude of cultures, languages, and nations.
Wow.
It's a reminder that growth often involves differentiation, exploring new territories, and expressing our unique potential.
It's like a seed scattering, taking root in different soils, adapting to different environments. But this diversification also introduces the potential for conflict and misunderstanding, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The story of Noah's drunkenness and the subsequent curse on Canaan, Ham's son, touches on this delicate balance between unity and diversity.
Okay.
It's a reminder that growth can be messy, and that our choices, even seemingly personal ones, can have unintended consequences that ripple through generations.
It's a cautionary tale about the responsibility that comes with growth,
Right.
the need for wisdom and compassion as we navigate our differences. But amidst these challenges, we also see the emergence of a chosen lineage, a thread that connects us back to the covenant with Noah and the promise of a new beginning.
And that brings us to the Tower of Babel, a story that's often interpreted as a commentary on the dangers of pride and ambition.
Okay.
But I think it also speaks to the complexities of collective growth.
All right.
Humanity is united in this ambitious project, building a tower that reaches to the heavens, a symbol of our desire to reach beyond our limits, to achieve greatness.
It's like that innate human drive to grow, to explore, to push the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
But what goes wrong? Why does God intervene and scatter the people, creating this confusion of languages?
Well, the text itself suggests that God saw their unity as a potential threat, a fear that they might become too powerful, too self-sufficient. It's
Mhm.
like a parent recognizing that sometimes a little bit of healthy separation is necessary for growth.
So it's not about punishing ambition,
Yeah.
but about recognizing the importance of diversity, of allowing different cultures and languages to flourish.
Exactly. Forced uniformity can stifle growth, just as unchecked ambition can lead to arrogance and a disconnect from our roots.
Wow.
The Tower of Babel reminds us that healthy growth requires both unity and diversity, collaboration, and individual expression.
It's about finding that delicate balance,
Yeah.
embracing our differences while recognizing our interconnectedness.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lesson that's still relevant today as we navigate a globalized world with all its complexities.
Absolutely. And as we transition from the Tower of Babel back to the genealogical accounts, we see this interplay of unity and diversity continuing to shape the human story.
Mhm.
Genesis narrows its focus to the descendants of Shem, particularly the line that leads to Abram, who will later become Abraham.
So we're zooming in on a particular family tree,
Mhm.
tracing the thread that connects us back to creation, through the flood and now towards the emergence of a chosen people.
Precisely. And it's within this lineage that we see the theme of growth taking on a more spiritual dimension.
Okay.
It's not just about physical expansion or cultural diversification,
Mm.
but about a deepening relationship with the divine, a journey of faith and covenant.
It's like the seed of faith is being planted and nurtured within this particular family line, preparing the ground for something extraordinary to blossom.
Yeah.
Are there any individuals in this genealogy that foreshadow this spiritual growth?
Well, we encounter Eber, from whose name the term Hebrew is derived.
Mm.
His descendants will become known as the Hebrews, the ancestors of the Israelites.
Interesting.
And then there's Peleg, whose name means division. The text notes that during his lifetime, the earth was divided. This could refer to the Tower of Babel event, but it also hints at a deeper division, a separation between those who follow the path of faith and those who choose other paths.
So even in the names, we see clues about the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Yeah.
It's like the genealogy is a map guiding us through the twists and turns of this spiritual journey.
And as we delve deeper into the lives of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we'll see how this journey of faith unfolds, how they grapple with doubt, temptation, and loss, and ultimately how they grow into their roles as the founders of a nation chosen to carry a divine message to the world.
It's amazing how these ancient stories continue to resonate with our own experiences of growth.
Right.
Whether it's the creation narrative, the Garden of Eden, the flood, the Tower of Babel, or the genealogical accounts, they all offer insights into the challenges, setbacks, and triumphs that shape our journeys.
They remind us that growth is not always linear or predictable, that it involves both expansion and pruning, unity and diversity, and a constant interplay between our human limitations and the divine potential within us.
It's a message of hope reminding us that even amidst chaos and uncertainty, there's always the possibility of renewal, transformation, and growth. And I'm eager to see how this theme continues to unfold as we move into the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore the challenges to traditional interpretations, examine these stories through a modern lens, and consider their lasting impact on our understanding of faith, humanity, and the world around us. Welcome back to Divine Decode. We've been on quite a journey through the first 10 chapters of Genesis, exploring the multifaceted theme of growth. From the initial burst of creation to the complexities of human choice and the challenges of navigating a world filled with both beauty and chaos, it's clear that growth isn't a straightforward path.
It's more like a winding road with unexpected turns, steep climbs, and moments of rest along the way. And as we approach the end of our deep dive, it's worth considering how these ancient stories continue to challenge and inspire us today, even as our understanding of the world has evolved.
Right. For instance, the six-day creation narrative often clashes with modern scientific perspectives. How do we reconcile those seemingly conflicting viewpoints while still appreciating the deeper message of Genesis?
Well, I think it's important to remember that these texts were written in a different time, using a different language, and addressing different questions than modern science. The creation story isn't a scientific textbook, but a poetic exploration of the relationship between God, humanity, and the natural world.
So it's more about the why than the how. The theological message of a creator who brings order from chaos, who instills purpose and meaning into existence.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the source of all creation, the divine spark that ignites growth and sustains life. And even if we understand the scientific processes behind the formation of the universe, the awe and wonder we experience when contemplating the vastness of creation can still resonate with that ancient sense of a creator God.
That makes sense. It's about finding different layers of meaning within these stories, recognizing that they can speak to us on multiple levels, spiritual, metaphorical, and even scientific in their own way.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another challenge, the way certain passages have been interpreted throughout history to justify harmful actions.
Oh,
The curse on Canaan, for instance, has been used to support racism and oppression, despite the fact that the text itself is focused on a specific individual, not an entire race.
it's a sobering reminder that even sacred texts can be misused and distorted to serve human agendas. How do we navigate those complexities while still honoring the power and wisdom of these stories?
Well, I think it requires a critical and compassionate approach. We need to be aware of the historical context, the cultural biases, and the potential for misinterpretations.
Okay.
And we also need to be willing to challenge those interpretations that go against our own ethical values and understanding of justice.
So it's about engaging with these texts thoughtfully, using our own discernment, and recognizing that interpretation is an ongoing process.
Precisely. It's about having the humility to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers and the courage to ask difficult questions, to grapple with the complexities, and to allow these stories to challenge and transform us.
I'm also struck by how these chapters highlight the cyclical nature of growth, the interplay of creation and destruction of progress and setbacks. We see this in the Garden of Eden, the flood, the Tower of Babel, even in the genealogical accounts with their stories of both blessings and curses.
It's a reflection of the human experience itself, isn't it? We're
Mhm.
constantly growing, changing, making mistakes, learning from them, and starting anew. Genesis reminds us that growth isn't always linear or predictable, that it involves both joy and sorrow, moments of flourishing and times of pruning.
And through it all, there's this sense of a divine presence, a guiding hand, even when it feels like humanity is veering off course.
Exactly. Genesis invites us to see the hand of God in both the creative and destructive forces, in the cycles of growth and decay, in the very fabric of existence.
Wow.
It's a reminder that we're not alone in this journey, that even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty, there's a deeper purpose unfolding.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the first 10 chapters of Genesis, what are some key takeaways that we can carry with us?
Well, I think it's about recognizing that growth is an essential part of the human experience, a journey that's both personal and collective, spiritual and material. It's about embracing the complexities, the challenges, and the unexpected turns, knowing that even setbacks and mistakes can be opportunities for learning and transformation.
Right.
And it's about remembering that we're part of a larger story, a cosmic narrative that connects us to something greater than ourselves.
Beautifully said. These ancient stories have much to teach us about the nature of growth, the relationship between humanity and the divine, and the enduring quest for meaning and purpose in a world that's constantly evolving. I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore these themes further in your own life. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Divine Decode on YouTube for more fascinating deep dives.
Thanks for joining us.